Hey guys, I'm checking out TimewARP 2600. This is a recreation of the ARP 2600, of course, by Air Music Tech and their brand Way Out Wave. Let's dive into this. All right, so this is not going to be a deep dive, but if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and make sense of everything that is going on here, or most of it, and we'll try and also check some of the presets so you can appreciate the potential, but put everything in context because this is a recreation of a very old synthesizer. So it doesn't have all the fancy effects, all the wavetables and everything that you have now in modern synthesizers. But if you are after a faithful recreation of the ARP 2600, this is a very good choice. So let's see what we've got. First of all, on the top, we have the preset browser. There's a whole bunch of different categories. And we can go even with factory, and then we have more categories like bases, and then we have a choice. Right, but let's start with a blank page. So I'm going to hit the reset button right here, and now we don't have anything, but I want to explain something. So we have the oscillators, we have 3 oscillators, we have a filter, we have envelopes to shape the sound over time, we have the VCA, the voltage control amplifier, that will take the sound from the filter and then put it into the mixer and out it goes. We also have noise generator that we can use. We have sample and hold to create sort of a randomness, or like generating random values. And there's an LFO. And in addition to that, there are some other things that you can use, like the voltage processor. So I'm not going to really explain everything. And by the way, there's a user manual that goes very deep on the whole theory about synthesis and synthesizers. I really recommend, if you take this one, even if you don't, if you get the user manual, just have a look and read through that. So let's try and get some sounds. Now you'll see these little labels below some of the controls right here. These are pre-wired assignments. So for example, if I'm looking at our filter, this is our filter. We have this frequency. This is the cutoff frequency. We have fine tuning as well. We have the resonance right here. And then there's sort of a mixer for what goes into our filters. You can see that we have the ring modulator, we have VCO 1, 2, and 3. And that's already hardwired unless I'm overriding this with a cable. So I can just grab this and just put it right here. But before we do that, let's just remove it. Let's see how we can get some sounds. So VCO 1, 2, and 3, they're a little bit different in the types of wave shapes that they can produce. So the VCO1, for example, that one has a sine, so, and square. The VCO2 got sine, so, triangle, and poles. And VCO3 has sine, so, and poles. And there are some other controls related to that. And on the top for each one, you'll see the frequency, the tuning. So you might wonder about that. Well, synthesizers back then, analog synthesizers, they need to be manually tuned, and you can tune each of the VCOs to different frequencies, create some chords or anything like that, or phasing or whatever effects. So I'm going to just grab this and get it all the way up, meaning VCO1 is going into our filter. But still, we don't have any sound. So next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to route the filter into our VCA, into our amplifier. So I'm going to do that right here. And also what I want to do is I want to control the overall sound, how it develops with an envelope. So we have two envelopes. We have ADSR envelope, you see it on the top right here, and then we have AR envelope, which is just below. And you can see that we have this assignment here. We can assign the ADSR envelope to our VCF. I can do that, for example. We'll play with that. And then I can also assign the same to our gain here, to our VCA. And then next, I'm going to just grab this and go all the way. So this means that the VCA goes into our mixer, and now we should have some sound. And this is a very simple square, just sound, very, very simple sound. So I can play just a little bit with the envelope here. So if I'll grab the release, and it will be longer. The release means what happens to the sound once I just remove my fingers from the keyboard. So it's fading away. And the attack is how much time would it take for the sound to reach its maximum velocity. So if it's very short, it's going to be plucky. Right? And then if it's a slower attack, that's going to be more pad or evolving sound. Now, let's change. Let's just take something like a sawtooth wave shape and send it into our filter. So I'm going to grab this saw from here, and I'm going to place it right here on the VCO1 or in this slider. It doesn't matter. We have these sliders. They just have pre-assigned configurations, but I'm overriding that. So this is a sawtooth. So what's going on here right now? Well, we have the same envelope controlling both the filter and our VCA. And the VCA, that's one thing. This is how our overall sound evolves over time, how it is opening up and releasing. But for the filter, the ADSR envelope will control how it opens and closes, how the cutoff is automated. So this is very very common kind of assignment, common kind of things to do. And if we have the resonance, right, it's kind of a boost around the cutoff, then we'll get this meow sound. Now, if we want more sounds, more VCOs, I can just grab this. Right, and I can take the pulse from here, just put it here. Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to remove the ADSR and get the AR for the VCA. I'm going to remove this wire from here. Right, and what I can do is I can use the second oscillator as a low frequency oscillator for the filter, and that's gonna be with just a simple assignment from here. Now I'm going into our second oscillator and I'm gonna click this switch. So now it's going to be LF, low frequency oscillator. Something else that we have is a reverb. So I can just push these sliders. Nice. So let's see some more stuff. So now if we want to create a little bit of randomness or sort of a computer talk sound, what we can do is use the sample and hold. So we have this already wired right here. So we have sample and hold out. So I'm going to just play something. Hit this. And here in the sample and hold section, we have the rate. And if we want to have a cleaner sound, we can just replace this with a sine. So in the preset browser, you can find a couple of very interesting sections. So first of all, we have the factory, but we also have the patch book. So if you go here, you'll see that we have, for the patch book, we have basic instruments, we have advanced instruments, rhythms, natural sounds, and so on. These are great to get things going and start exploring. So for example, this patch is without any cables. So as you can see, we have the second oscillator engaged here going into our VCF, and by default it is hardwired as a pulse. So this is how it sounds. And I can actually replace this with a saw. So I'm going to just grab this and override this pre-wire. And we can play with the oscillator with the cutoff. Add some resonance. And again, very simple sound. So you can see that we are just utilizing the pre-wires. And we have, again, VCO2 right here. And then we have the keyboard assignments right here. Then we have the VCF going into our VCA. Our filter goes into our amplifier, and then finally goes out right here. So this is pretty basic. And we can play with the pulse widths if we like. Anything like that. Let's try some more patches. So here you can see that we are actually using the saw wave shape going and overriding this slider right here. So I think what we'll do now is I'm going to just go through some of the presets. And again, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I know I didn't cover everything. This is not a deep dive, but of course, we can do that maybe some other time. And I'll see you guys very soon. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. And I'll see you guys very soon. Thanks and bye-bye.